commitment to racial justice and community unity. Beloved worldwide community, today, June 3rd, 2020, we, Zen Buddhist nuns from Deer Park Monastery, Escondido, California, gather here to honor Mr. George Floyd and all the victims of racial injustice and violence throughout time. In the face of our world's longstanding agony, we would like to offer excerpts from the book Love in Action, Writings on Nonviolent Social Change, published in 1993. Written by our teacher, Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called Thich Nhat Hanh an apostle of peace and nonviolence when nominating him for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1967. Following this, we would like to invite everyone to join us in a meditation on nonviolence and walking meditation as a concrete way of holding our collective pain while generating healing and compassion with each breath and each step. Although it was written over 2 decades ago, the message of looking deeply into human suffering still rings true. Let us continue to develop this insight and together find ways to realize social justice and equity through compassionate dialogue and action. Excerpts from Love in Action by Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. People everywhere saw the Los Angeles policeman beating Rodney King. When I first saw that video on French TV, I felt that I was the one being beaten, and I suffered a lot. I think you must have felt the same. All of us were beaten at the same time. We were all victims of violence, anger, misunderstanding, and the lack of respect for our human dignity. But as I looked more deeply, I saw that the policemen beating Rodney King were no different from myself. They were doing it because our society is filled with hatred and violence. Everything is like a bomb ready to explode, and we are all part of that bomb. We are all co-responsible. We are all the policemen and the victim. In the practice of mindfulness, we nurture the ability to see deeply into the nature of things and people. And the fruit is insight, understanding, and love. Because we have not practiced deeply enough, violence has become the substance of our society. We accept violence as a way of life, and as a way to deal with the problems. If we are not mindful, if we do not transform our shared suffering through compassion and deep understanding, then one day our child will be the one who is beaten, or the one doing the beating. It is very much our affair. We have to look at the roots of the problem and not just on the surface. If we divide reality into 2 camps, the violent and the nonviolent, and stand in one camp while attacking the other, the world will never have peace. We will always blame and condemn those we feel are responsible for wars and social injustice, without recognizing the degree of violence in ourselves. We must work on ourselves and also work with those we condemn if we want to have a real impact. It never helps to draw a line and dismiss some people as enemies, even those who act violently. We have to approach them with love in our hearts and do our best to help them move in a direction of nonviolence. If we work for peace out of anger, we will never succeed. Peace is not an end. It can never come about through non-peaceful means. When we protest a war, we may assume that we are a peaceful person, a representative of peace, but this might not be the case. If we look deeply, we will observe that the roots of war are in the unmindful ways we have been living. We have not sown enough seeds of peace and understanding in ourselves and others. Therefore, we are co-responsible. Because I have been like this, they are like that. A more holistic approach is the way of interbeing. This is like this, because that is like that. This is the way of understanding and love. With this insight, we can see clearly and help our government see clearly. Then we can go to a demonstration and say, this war is unjust, destructive, and not worthy of our great nation. This is far more effective than angrily condemning others. Anger always accelerates the damage. Meditation for nonviolence. Let us offer the world the best flowers and fruits of our practice. Lucidity, solidity, brotherhood, sisterhood, understanding, and compassion. Let us give rise to the determination to look deeply into the nature of fear, anger, hatred, and violence, and to cultivate the eyes of compassion. Breathing in, I am aware of violence within myself and within the world. Breathing out, I am determined to look with the eyes of compassion at the violence within myself and within the world. In this very moment, we invoke all our spiritual teachers to be with us, to help us embrace the suffering of our nation. We ask them to embrace the entire world as one nation, to embrace humanity as a family. We ask their help as we become lucid and calm, so that we know exactly what to do and what not to do. We know that many people at this very moment are trying to rescue others, to support them, to ease their suffering. Let us be there for all of them and embrace them tenderly with all our compassion, understanding, and awareness. We know that the energy of mindfulness, concentration, and awakened wisdom we can practice in order to lessen violence every day. We know that responding to violence with compassion is our only path. Let us bring our attention to our in-breath and our out-breath. We are aware of the presence of all our spiritual ancestors within us, supporting and guiding us to go on the path of nonviolence, understanding, and compassion. Introduction to Walking Meditation. Excerpts from books, Peace of Mind and Love in Action. Walking in a relaxed, peaceful way, healing can take place in body and mind. Let your in-breath and out-breath heal you. Let your steps heal and nourish you. Strong negative emotions can carry you away and take away your freedom. Your breath and your steps can help you come back to the present moment. There is peace in the present moment. You bring your mind back to your body, and when body and mind are united, you are truly present for the moments of your life, and you are the sovereign of your body and mind. If we practice walking mindfully, being in touch with the earth, the air, the trees, and ourselves, we can heal ourselves, and our entire society will also be healed. If the whole nation would practice watering seeds of joy and peace, and not just seeds of anger and violence, the elements of war in all of us will be transformed. Practicing peace is possible with every step, with every breath. It is possible for us to practice together and bring hope and compassion into our daily lives and into the lives of our families, our community, our nation, and the world.